guys, what's up? It's Clay, and today I'll be doing part 4 of my DVD and Blu-ray collection. So we're gonna start with this case. This is one of those little metal ones that comes with a key, and this has Call of Duty Modern Warfare. This is the original Modern Warfare, not the one that just came out. But I really like this case. That's why I keep it. I really don't need to use this because I could put these movies. It only holds, a small amount of movies in it, but I could use or put these movies in another case. But I really like this case just because of the design. So that's why I keep it to use it for my movies. But yeah. So let's get into this again. I just bought some more movies, so. But I just bought more movies, so I had to rearrange my movies again because they're in alphabetical order. So you will see a couple that were seen in the last video if you watched that. If not, go check it out. There's been 3 parts already, and then we'll have this part and one more part after this, so there will be 5 parts total. And that'll be my complete Blu-ray collection. But let's get into the first case of part 4. So we have Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, which we saw in the last video, and then Mission Impossible, the collection. So we have Mission Impossible, which we saw, and Mission Impossible 2, which were both in the last video, I believe, and then Mission Impossible 3, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation, and then the newest one, Mission Impossible Fallout, which was probably my favorite out of all of them. Really good movie. If you haven't checked these out, I recommend you do. They get better as the series goes on, so I really love the Mission Impossible movies, and I think they have in the works of Mission Impossible 7. I might be making that up, but I'm pretty sure they have a Mission Impossible 7. I hope so, at least. Moana. Haven't actually seen this, but I've heard a lot about it. So, and it's Disney. Monster House. I was always creeped out by Mr. Nevercracker, the neighbor in this movie. If you haven't seen this movie, it's a really weird movie, but at the same time, it's a unique movie because never before have we seen a man bury his wife under his house, or she gets buried under his house, and then her spirit becomes the house, so the house comes to life. So that was a unique concept for a movie, but the movie was also kind of weird and scary, but check it out if you're into stuff like that. Monsters Inc., classic Pixar. Probably one of my favorite Pixar films is Monsters Inc. I really enjoy this movie. If you haven't seen this, what are you doing? Now, my favorite comedy movie of all time, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. This movie is freaking hilarious. I've rewatched it numerous times and still find it hilarious. And for a movie from, I think, 1974, somewhere in there. It's from the 70s, I know that. But for a movie from the 70s to hold up this long and still be funny to this day, that should tell you something about Monty Python. My whole family quotes this movie. We love this movie. If you haven't checked this out, go check this out because this is one of the funniest movies I have ever watched in my entire life. Mortal Engines. This is one that I wanted to see in theaters, and I didn't get around to seeing it in theaters. So I haven't watched it yet since I bought it because I'm working on some other stuff, but I do want to check it out. It looked interesting, so I'll have to watch that eventually. Then we have Mulan and Mulan 2, the 2-pack. I love the first Mulan. It's, one of those movies that a lot of people, if not everybody, has at least seen parts of and could probably sing some of the songs from. Mulan 2, though, to be honest, I didn't even know they made a second Mulan. But I bought the 2-pack mostly for the first one, but I guess if I watch the second one, I guess I might like it. But yeah, I didn't even know they made a second one. This is Murder on the Orient Express. This was a really good movie. For not having read the book and not really knowing what to expect, I really enjoyed this movie. I've rewatched it, I think, twice since I got it on DVD, plus the one time I saw it in theaters. But I really didn't know what to expect for the movie, and then I watched it, and it was a really good movie. So check that out if you haven't. Directed by Kenneth Branagh. Really good movie. National Treasure, love it. Nicolas Cage is Benjamin Franklin Gates. Tries to find hidden treasure, and it's a really well put together movie, and I like when I watch it, I can actually think, I can sit there and think, like, does some of this stuff actually exist? It probably doesn't, but the way they portray it makes it seem like it could actually be real, and that's what I like about these movies. So we got National Treasure and National Treasure 2. I like both of them. I think the first one's my favorite, but I do like both of them. Really, really good movies. And then this is NCIS New Orleans Season 1. So that's the end of this case. So I'll be back with case 2 of part 4. So this is case 2 of part 4. As you can see, this is one of those bigger ones. This isn't one of those small ones that's about half this size. So we'll have this case for part 2, and then, for part 4, case 2 of part 4, and then for part 5, we'll have 2 more of those smaller cases that are like half this size or whatever. So let's get into case 2 of part 4, because this has a lot of movies in it to get through. So we left off in case 3 with NCIS New Orleans Season 1. So then we have discs 5 and 6 of Season 1, and then start Season 2. The first 2 seasons are the only 2 seasons I have of NCIS New Orleans. Not a bad show. I just like the regular NCIS. I kind of got lost with storytelling at one point, and then I just kind of stopped watching it on TV, but I'm sure if I rewatch it, I'll get back into it, and it'll be fine, and I'll probably like it again. This is Near Extinction. This is one of those, like, $5 sci-fi movies from Walmart. Haven't watched it. It sounded interesting, so I bought it, but I haven't checked it out. And like I've said before, I'm not going to get rid of it until I at least watch it once, because I'm weird and that's how I am. So until I watch it, it's here, and if I like it, I'll keep it. If not, I'll probably get rid of it or whatever. But Night at the Museum collection, Night at the Museum, Battle of the Smithsonian, and then Secret of the Tomb. I've seen the first one. I really like the first one. I've seen most of the second one, and it's not bad. And then I've seen parts of the third one. I don't really remember the third one, to be honest, so I can't tell you if I liked it or not, but the first one I really liked. The second one wasn't bad, so you can check these out if you haven't seen them already. And then we have just another copy of the first Night at the Museum, which I had before. I bought the collection of them. This is The Nightmare Before Christmas. If you check out my video on this channel labeled my top 10 favorite Halloween/horror movies or something like that, this is my top favorite Halloween movie. It's really well put together, and I really love the idea that you can watch it on either Halloween or Christmas, and that's why I put it at number 1 on that list, was because you can watch it for Halloween or you can watch it for Christmas. If you've never seen it, then you don't know what I'm talking about, but if you have seen it, then you do know what I'm talking about. And it's a Tim Burton film, but it's it's really good. It's one of my favorite Tim Burton films. Really well put together, and I love that idea of having multiple holidays like that. So, really good movie. Check it out if you haven't seen it already. This is Nightmare Shark. I don't know. It's one of those $5 shark movies that you get at Walmart. I'm kind of a fan of cheesy shark movies, I'll be honest. They're not all good, but I just, for some reason, I enjoy them. This is Night Zero, another one of those $5 sci-fi movies, like Near Extinction, that you get at Walmart. Sounded interesting. It was about like the end of the world type of thing. Sounded interesting. Still haven't watched it, but again, I'm gonna keep it until I watch it, and then if I don't like it, I'll get rid of it. But I do want to check that out. This is Noah the Musical from Sight and Sound Theater. Sight and Sound Theater is in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. They do a bunch of like Bible related stories, but through like a play or a musical, and so it's really cool. We saw a couple there. We saw Moses live, but this is on a DVD for Noah. So, but if you're familiar with the Bible story, then the play will make sense, because they take it, and they tell the story in musical form, so it's really cool. I'm not a big fan of like theater, but I do really enjoy those. Those are really, really neat to see, and they have live animals in there for some of them, and so it's really cool to see. Non-Stop, really good Liam Neeson movie. He's a air marshal, I believe, an air marshal, and he gets on a plane and he's got to fight against bad guys that are trying to frame him for all of these murders that are happening on the plane that he's on. And so it's a really good action movie with Liam Neeson. I love Liam Neeson. He's my favorite actor. But that's one of my favorites of his movies. Oblivion. Haven't seen this. I've heard good things about it, so I do want to check it out. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But it has a really cool glow-in-the-dark slipcover on the case. So that's really cool. But I do want to check this movie out. Occupation. This was another one of those, $5 sci-fi films from Walmart. I actually did watch this one. And this has, I'm probably saying his name wrong, but Tamara Morrison, the one who plays Jango Fett from Star Wars Attack of the Clones. He's in this, and this was, when it sounded interesting, so I bought it, and I watched it, and it was actually interesting. It was confusing at times, but it was also really entertaining. I really like this movie, so you should check it out. If you haven't seen it yet. This is the only 4K movie I have. It's called Oceans, Our Blue Planet. It's narrated by Kate Winslet. It's a documentary on the oceans. I haven't watched it yet, and the thing I like about 4K is, like, this was only on 4K, so we had to get it on 4K. but it comes with a Blu-ray, so I can still watch it because I don't have a 4K player. But it only came on 4K. But my brother actually bought this and he watched it. He gave it to me, but if he wants it back, I can give it back to him. But I haven't checked it out yet, so I want to watch it before I give it back to him. But for now, it's in here. Oliver and Company, one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. Check this out if you haven't seen it. Olympus Has Fallen. Really good movie. I rewatched it after I bought it on Blu-ray, and I still really enjoy it. I think they just came out with Angel Has Fallen, I believe is what it was called in theaters. Which is like, I guess, the sequel to Olympus Has Fallen. I think there's 3 in the series, but I forget what the first one is. And then there's Olympus Has Fallen and Angel Has Fallen, which is the same premise of the movie, I guess, just a different story, I guess. But I didn't get to see it, but I'll probably check it out when it comes out on DVD. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. This movie won 5 Oscars in 1975, including Best Picture, Best Actor, and Best Actress. Jack Nicholson won his first Oscar from this movie, and Louise Fletcher won for Best Actress. This was actually a really good movie, and I bought this set that came with like a booklet and pictures and playing cards and all this kind of stuff, so it was really cool. But this was a movie. My mom said, "Hey, let's watch this movie," and I was thinking, well, this is gonna be one of those movies that like was good back in the day, but it's not gonna hold up well today. And then we watched it, and I was actually really impressed with how good the movie was, and that's probably why it was nominated for 9 Oscars and won 5 of them. So, I really enjoy this movie. Check it out if you haven't seen it. But I'm glad my mom made me watch that, because then I could buy it, and I have rewatched it, and it's still good. Open Season. I like this movie. It's about a bear that becomes friends with a deer, and then some things happen, and they go out into the wild, and but yeah, watch this movie if you haven't checked it out. It's not bad. This is Open Water 3 Cage Dive. I don't know why I have the third one. I've never seen the first 2. I don't know why I have well, that's not true. I've seen bits of the first one. I've never seen the full thing of the first 2, so I don't know why I bought the third one. But again, shark movie, so I bought it. Orca the Killer Whale. Really good movie here with Richard Harris, who was the original Albus Dumbledore in Harry Potter. Really good movie about a killer whale that gets revenge on the man who kills his wife and baby. Really unique movie, and really cool, really well put together. I still enjoy watching that movie. Next we have Over the Hedge. I remember watching that when I was a kid, and I liked it. I haven't seen it since, and I really don't remember it, but it's one of those movies I watched, and I bought it for nostalgia because I do remember it. I just haven't watched it enough to know what happens. And then we have Oz the Great and Powerful, which I got from my Disney movie rewards as a mystery DVD. I might not watch it. I might watch it. I don't know. But, and again, Disney movie rewards isn't a thing anymore. Now it's called Disney Movie Insights. So next we have Pacific Rim and Pacific Rim Uprising. Haven't seen either one, heard mixed reviews on both of them. I do want to check them out, I just haven't gotten around to it yet, but yeah, I've heard mixed reviews, so I don't know which one I'd like better, but I will check them out at some point. Next we have Passengers and After Earth. The reason After Earth is here is because it came with Passengers, which I didn't know. When I bought Passengers, I didn't actually know that it was gonna have After Earth in the case with it until I opened it up and saw both of them, and I was like, oh, well, okay. So it's an extra movie. I bought it for Passengers, but I don't know what this is about. But it has Will Smith and his son. So I don't know. I'll probably watch both of them, but I did want to watch Passengers, and that's why I bought it in the first place, was for Passengers. So yeah, and it came with that, so that's an extra movie, so that's kind of cool. And we have The Passion of the Christ, directed by Mel Gibson. Haven't seen it in a while, but I do remember enjoying it. This is Pathfinder. No clue what it's about. I got it at a collectible store in the mall near where I live. It was like $4. It sounded interesting based off the description, but I haven't watched it, so I don't know what it's about. The Patriot, classic Mel Gibson movie there. Really, really good. Love this movie. Patriots Day. This is about the bombing on the Boston Marathon, I believe. Starring Mark Wahlberg. Really, really good movie. I like these ones that he does where they're like based off true stories. I like those. Deepwater Horizon's probably my favorite of these types of movies, but Patriots Day's not bad. Paul Blart Mall Cop with Kevin James and Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. The first one's definitely my favorite out of the two, but they're both really funny. People give them a lot of hate, but I really enjoy the first one. And the second one wasn't bad. It just, there was parts that it was unnecessary. But check out the first one at least if you're gonna watch one of them, because the first one's hilarious. Next we have Penguins of Madagascar. I watched this on Nickelodeon, I think. The TV series version of it, and they made a movie of it. Haven't seen the movie of it, but you know, I bought it to check it out, so I have to watch it at least once. But this is Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief, which out of the two that they made, this was my favorite. I really enjoyed this movie. I've rewatched it a couple times. I really like this though. And then Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters, which there was some confusing parts, and overall I didn't really enjoy the movie that well. But I mean, it's still part of the collection because it is part of the series. So, but at least check out the first one. Stephen King's Pet Sematary and Pet Sematary 2, the two pack. I don't think I've ever seen the second one. The first one's really good. This is the original Pet Sematary, not the new one that came out. Again, haven't read the books, so I don't know how accurate they are. But I really like the first one, and I've seen, if I have seen the second one, I've seen parts of the second one. But I know I haven't seen the full thing of Pet Sematary 2, but I really enjoy the first one. This is Pilgrim's Progress 2 with Liam Neeson. Haven't watched it. I got this for, I think, Christmas one year or something, and just haven't checked it out yet. But if it's anything like the original Pilgrim's Progress, then it'll probably be good. But I haven't seen it, so I don't know. The Pirates of the Caribbean collection. So we have Curse of the Black Pearl, Dead Man's Chest, Outworld's End, and On Stranger Tides. I like the first two. These two, I think, in my opinion, were unnecessary, but you know they're part of the series. So, and then a DVD copy of Dead Man's Chest just because I had it beforehand, and then this is the newest one, Dead Men Tell No Tales. I've heard mixed reviews on that as well. I probably will never watch it, but because it's part of the Pirates of the Caribbean series, I bought it to have it. I might watch it, I don't know, but it's part of the series, so that's why I have it. Pixels. This was a really funny Adam Sandler movie. Has Peter Dinklage, Adam Sandler, I think Kevin James is in it, and some other people. But it's really funny about like video game characters that come to life. So really unique concept, and I actually really enjoyed it. Again, mixed reviews, but you know, I liked it. One of my favorite documentaries, Planet Earth, narrated by David Attenborough. I really like this series. This and Blue Planet, I think, are my two favorite documentaries from BBC Earth, and narrated by David Attenborough. I love these. You know, I love nature, I love animals. This is like the perfect series for me. So there's Planet Earth, and then there's Planet Earth 2, which came out a few years ago on TV. It's good too. I'd put it up there with Planet Earth. So I really enjoy these documentary series by BBC Earth. The Planet of the Apes collection. So this was like, I guess this was like a TV series back when it came out or whatever. And so we have Planet of the Apes, which was really good, by the way. I mean, I saw all of these, and I did really enjoy all of them, for them being, you know, older kind of TV show movie things. I did really enjoy them. But in Planet of the Apes, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, Escape from Planet of the Apes, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, Battle for the Planet of the Apes. So that's the 5 movies, and then this is Behind the Planet of the Apes, how they made it, and so it shows like the behind the scenes type of stuff. And then another copy of the first Planet of the Apes movie from that set. I didn't know it was the same thing when I bought it. But yeah, and then this one is the same as this. This came in a 3-pack with, it was Planet of the Apes, which is the same as the original one. So I have 3 copies of the original one, and then the other movies in that set were Planet of the Apes from 2001, I believe, with Mark Wahlberg, and a copy of Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which I actually do have another one that I bought, because I had actually lost this one from this set, and so I bought another one. And then I found this one, so I have 2 copies of Rise, which I could probably get rid of one anyway, but that's besides the point. Rise I really enjoyed. I really like all 3 of the newer Planet of the Apes movies. I said that with Dawn, and I'll probably say it again for War of the Planet of the Apes, but I really enjoy all 3 of them. I think Rise is probably my favorite, but they're all good. Point Break, haven't seen it. Heard it was good. Do want to check it out, just haven't gotten around to it. Next is Pokemon, the first movie. Really like this. This is, you know, childhood for me. Back in the day, I really liked Pokemon, and this movie was really cool. I mean, I've kind of gotten out of Pokemon just because I haven't watched it and I don't know who anybody is, but, you know, Pokemon is still one of those things that's a classic that, like, everybody still talks about. So this was Pokemon, the first movie. Really enjoy it. Classic Christmas movie here with the Polar Express. Tom Hanks has 3 or 4 roles in this movie. Really good Christmas movie to watch. The Polar Express. Popeye with Robin Williams. Really good movie. It's a live action version of Popeye, so I enjoy it. The Predator collection, we have Predator, which is the best out of all of them. Predator 2, Predators is completely different than the first two. It's not bad. It's not as good as the first one, but it's I'm not gonna hate on it because it's a different storyline, so you can't really, you know. I mean, they talk about the first two in this movie, but they it's a different storyline, so it's different than the first two. And then The Predator, which came out in 2018, I saw it in theaters and it sucked, but I bought it on DVD just because it's part of the series. So yeah, that's why it's here. Don't watch it. It's stupid. They took it and turned it into a comedy, and that's not what you do with a Predator movie. So it was stupid, but I bought it just so it could be part of the set. The Princess Bride. Really like this movie. I actually saw this one night on TV, like late at night. I was just flipping through channels and it was on, and I watched the ending of it, and then went back next time it was on and watched the full thing, and it's a really good movie. So I had to buy it when I saw it in FYE. Prometheus. I actually enjoy this. It's a prequel to Alien. The Alien franchise. I like this, and I bought this after I saw Alien Covenant, and that's why Alien Covenant didn't really make sense to me. But since I watched this, if I would go back now and rewatch Covenant, I'm sure it would make more sense. But not a bad movie for Prometheus. Classic here with Psycho. There's not much to say about it that hasn't already been said. It's a classic horror movie. The Quake. This is one of those disaster films where an earthquake hits. I think it's Australia or something like that. It's a foreign country. I know that. I'm pretty sure it's like Australia or one of those ones. But an earthquake hits there, and this guy has to try and like save people from the earthquake, and so it's kind of like 2012 and San Andreas and all those, but it's it's in a different country. And the case for this actually has a really cool lenticular slipcover, so it's really cool looking. Haven't seen it, but that's just based off the description of it, what it's about. I do want to check it out. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. The Rambo collection. So you got First Blood Part 2, Rambo 3, and then Rambo, which was from 2008, I think, something like that. Haven't seen any of them, and they're making a new one, so I should probably watch these and then go see the new one. But I haven't seen any of the Rambo films. Rampage. This was actually really good. This was a good take on the Godzilla versus King Kong type of scenario where you had a giant gorilla versus a giant like snake or lizard or something. I forget. It's been a while, but I do really enjoy this movie, and for it not actually being a King Kong versus Godzilla,
or supposed to be that. I think they were trying to make it like that to see how people would react to something like that for when they make the upcoming King Kong versus Godzilla movie. And so I thought this was a really good movie. I don't know what everyone else thought, but I really like it. This is The Raven with John Cusack. He plays Edgar Allan Poe, who in high school I read a lot of Edgar Allan Poe stories for my comm lit class, and we had to do presentations and stuff, and I'd always choose one of his stories just because I kind of liked some of his stories. But anyways, The Raven is actually the name of The Raven's actually the name of one of his stories, and so it's really good. But basically, Edgar Allan Poe has to help people, or has to help the police solve crimes based on his stories. So it's a really good movie. Make sure you get the right one, because there are a couple called The Raven or something like that. And so if you want to check this out, make sure you get the one that has John Cusack in it. It's a really good movie. I watched it in comm lit too, so that was really cool. Ready Player One. I really enjoyed this movie. There's a lot of video game references, movie references. I loved it. Again, haven't read the book. Don't know, but I really enjoyed the movie. Replicas. Haven't seen this. It sounds interesting though. I guess Keanu Reeves' character, his wife and daughter get killed in like a car crash or something like that, and so he takes their brains and puts them into like AI or into like machines to try to make his wife and daughter again, and things go wrong like they always do in movies like this. So it sounded interesting, and I do want to check it out. Just haven't gotten around to it yet. The Revenant, the movie DiCaprio won his Oscar for, and well deserved. He did really good in this movie. That bear scene though, it really violent. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If not, check it out. It was a really good movie. The Rio 2 packs, you got Rio and Rio 2. Saw the first one, really enjoyed the first one. Haven't seen the second one. I mostly bought the set for the first one. But I'm sure the second one's good. Here's my other copy of Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Again, love all of those movies. Riverdale Season 1. I heard this was good, and then I watched it, and I was bored out of my mind with this show. I'm sure if I rewatch it, it might be good, but I didn't enjoy this. I don't know why I still have it, but yeah. This is the Robin Hood TV series from BBC. Haven't seen it. It sounded cool based off the thing, so I bought the complete series. I saw it in Walmart for like $10, so I bought the complete series. Haven't watched any of it, but it seemed pretty good. So you got season 1. See, it doesn't tell you the seasons on season 2. I'm guessing because it doesn't say season 1 and season 2 on it. But I'm just going because it says disc 1 for each section, so I'm just going by that. So that's season 2. This would be 3, and then I guess that's it. I guess there was only 3 seasons of it. Again, haven't watched it, but it's I do want to check it out. So there's the complete collection of Robin Hood. Robots, really like this movie. Really good movie. Check this out if you haven't seen it. Rudy, classic. Sean Astin. Run All Night and Unknown 2-pack. I saw Unknown first, and it was really good. Run All Night was good too. Again, 2 Liam Neeson movies I really enjoy, but Unknown was really good. He did a really good job in that movie. San Andreas, I like this. Another one of those disaster movies. I didn't think it was a bad movie. I liked it. This is The Sandlot, classic movie. Saving Mr. Banks, which was another Disney movie rewards that I got. I'll probably never watch it, but Tom Hanks plays Walt Disney. But again, it was from Disney movie rewards, so I don't know if I'll ever watch it or not. Saving Private Ryan, another classic. The Saw complete collection. It has DVD and Blu-rays of them, so you got Saw 2 and Saw 3. This has Saw 4, Saw 5, Saw 6, and Saw the Final Chapter, and then Jigsaw. And then the Blu-ray version has Saw 2, Saw 3, Saw 4, Saw 5, Saw 6, Saw the Final Chapter, and Jigsaw. I've seen the first 3, I think, and haven't seen past that. And if I have, it's been bits and pieces. But I haven't fully watched the other 3. This is Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo 2, the live-action movies. They're really fun. I like Scooby-Doo, so those are fun movies. Scream and Scream 4. Those are the only 2 I have. I'm trying to work on getting Scream 2 and Scream 3, just so I can have the complete series. But the first one's really good, and this one was but they're the only 2 that I have. So yeah. The first one's really good though. Searching. This is a movie I wanted to see in theaters. Didn't get around to seeing it in theaters. But this guy's daughter goes missing, so he uses her social media to try to find where she may have gone or who may have taken her or whatever. So it sounded interesting. I didn't get to see it, so I bought it. Haven't seen it yet, but it's coming up on my list of stuff to watch, so I can't wait to watch that. Season of a Lifetime. This was based on a true story of a football coach who had a disease, and he wanted his team to win the championship before, he passed away. And I won't tell you the ending of the movie, but it's a really good movie. This is the second Jungle Book, Mowgli and Baloo, so it focuses on, I guess, the time period. I haven't seen it. I don't really remember it. It focuses on like the adventures of Mowgli and Baloo while Baloo was teaching Mowgli about living in the jungle. So it's a unique concept. It's not a Disney movie, so I don't know, but it's not bad. The Secret Life of Pets, which I really enjoyed. The Secret Life of Pets 2 I haven't seen, because it just came out this year. I do want to see it. Hopefully it's just as good as the first one, because I really enjoyed the first one. Secrets of the Mountain. This is, I guess, this family ends up like getting, I don't know if they get trapped or if they go to the mountain to find the treasure, but there's like a treasure or a secret buried within a mountain, and these guys have to find it. It was another one of those cheap movies from Walmart. It sounded interesting, bought it, haven't watched it yet, but hey, I'll check it out eventually, probably. See No Evil, really good movie, really unique concept for a movie. I really enjoyed this movie. Serengeti. This is a documentary from BBC Earth. This is narrated by John Boyega, who plays Finn in Star Wars. Haven't seen this yet because I just bought it the other day, but I guess it's a documentary on Africa and like life in the Serengeti. So I like stuff like that. Again, with like Planet Earth and stuff. So hopefully this will be really good. Seven, a movie based on the 7 deadly sins. It was good. I liked it. Seventh Son. It was another one of those cheap movies I bought. Haven't seen it. I've heard mixed reviews, but next is The Shallows, a really good shark movie starring Blake Lively. I enjoyed it. I know there's people that give it hate, but I liked it. Shark. This is a documentary from BBC Earth. A documentary on sharks. As a marine biology major and as somebody who wants to study sharks, this is a really good documentary to watch. It talks about all different types of sharks, and I'm just into shark movies and shark stuff, so yeah. Shark Night, really cheesy shark movie about these people like kidnap people and film them like feeding them to sharks so that they can get on Shark Week. It's a really cheesy movie, but it's a shark movie, so I have it here. Shark Tale. I actually enjoyed this when I was younger. Haven't rewatched it lately, but I do remember most of it for the most part. So this is Shark Week. This was from 2 or 3 years ago, I think. The series that was on TV. If you don't know what Shark Week is, every year Discovery Channel puts out a week's worth of like documentaries and movies and just stuff on sharks on Discovery Channel. It goes every day, all week, from Sunday to Saturday, for a certain week every year. But this one was what was on Discovery Channel from 2 or 3 years ago, and then we have another Shark Week, which was the 30th anniversary collection, which has 5 fan favorite episodes, 10 fan favorite episodes and 5 vintage episodes from throughout the entire time that Shark Week has been on TV. Love Shark Week, love sharks, so my favorite week of the year. Sherlock Holmes and Sherlock Holmes: The Game of Shadows 2-pack. Like the first one isn't bad, or the second one isn't bad, but the first one's my favorite. The Shining, classic Stephen King movie, directed by Stanley Kubrick. They're making a sequel to it, Doctor Sleep, which looks really good and stars Ewan McGregor. But this is a classic horror movie. Short Circuit 2, never seen the first one, have seen this one and I really enjoyed it. Shrek, it's probably the only Shrek movie I'll ever own because it's probably the only one worth owning. The Skulls, I saw this a long time ago. I don't really remember this. I'll have to rewatch this. I don't really remember much about it. Skyscraper. It's a really good movie. I really enjoyed that. We have Sky High. Really like that movie. Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp. Haven't seen it, but I heard it was really good. Slender Man. I heard this sucked. But I didn't get to see it in theaters, so I want to check it out before I give an opinion on it. But I haven't gotten around to watching it yet. The Snowman, starring Michael Fassbender. Sounded really cool. Again, haven't watched it yet, but do want to get around to watching this. Son of God. Not a bad series or movie on the life of Jesus. It's not bad. Soul Surfer, really good movie based on a true story of a surfer who gets attacked by a shark while surfing and still goes on to surf, and doesn't let that hold her back. And so it's a really good movie starring Anna Sophia Robb. The Spider-Man trilogy, so we got Spider-Man, which was good, Spider-Man 2, which was good, and then Spider-Man 3, which we don't talk about. Spider-Man Far From Home and Homecoming, 2-pack, and then another copy of Homecoming, which I had before this because this just came out, with the 2-pack. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which I really enjoy. I really enjoy Homecoming and Far From Home. So, yeah, I like all the Spider-Man movies except for Spider-Man 3, pretty much. Spirits, Dying of the Cimarron. I had this on VHS. This was one of my favorite movies growing up. I watched the heck out of this movie. I don't know why. I just really enjoyed this movie. Split, really good movie. And if you watch the other parts, you saw I had another copy of this from the M. Night Shyamalan set that came with Glass, Unbreakable, and Split. Really good movie. James McAvoy plays a bunch of different... he plays the same character, just a bunch of different personalities of that character. So he does a really good job where he has to remember, what personality goes with how he should act. And so it's a really good movie. SpongeBob SquarePants, the first 100 episodes. Love SpongeBob. Probably one of my favorite TV shows of all time. I think everybody has seen SpongeBob at some point in their life. So you got the first 100 episodes. You got disc 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a lot. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then we have Spooky Buddies up here, which was a Disney movie rewards. Mystery. Bluray I'll probably never watch it, but it was a mystery Blu-ray, so I kept it. And then Spy Kids 3 in 3D and 2D. Not my favorite Spy Kids movie. The first one's probably my favorite. Well, the second one isn't bad. This one isn't bad. I don't prefer it, and I don't really like 3D movies. So yeah, that's it for part 4 of my collection. My Blu-ray DVD collection. Stay tuned for the next part, which will be the final part. It'll be the last 2 cases. If you haven't already, go back and watch parts 1 through 3. They're on this channel. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. I know I love watching stuff like this on YouTube. And let me know what you guys think of my collection so far. Let me know what you thought of the movies. In this case, leave comments on, movies I haven't seen that you might have seen. Let me know your thoughts on any of the movies. And again, stay tuned for the next part. And make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.